Xin chào mừng quý vị đến với VNU IS TALK số 2 của khoa quốc tế, Đại học Quốc gia Hà Nội. Tôi là Phương Thảo, MC của chương trình ngày hôm nay. Tính đến cuối năm 2020, các quốc gia trên toàn cầu đã bơm vào nền kinh tế khoảng hơn 20.000 tỷ USD. Đó là chưa kể nhiều ngân hàng trung ương đã và đang ồ ạt bơm tiền vào thị trường tài chính thông qua chương trình nới lỏng định lượng QE. Trong đó, Fed đang bơm khoảng 120 tỷ USD mỗi tháng thông qua việc mua trái phiếu chính phủ và trái phiếu đảm bảo bằng thế chấp của các doanh nghiệp. Do kinh tế thế giới đang suy thoái nên áp lực lạm phát vẫn chưa đáng ngại. Tuy nhiên, nhiều chuyên gia cho rằng thời kỳ lạm phát cao sẽ xảy ra khi nền kinh tế thế giới bình thường trở lại sau khi đại dịch Covid-19 được đẩy lùi. Điều này có thể diễn ra vào cuối năm 2021 hoặc đầu năm 2022. Cách đây không lâu, trên thị trường thế giới, Bitcoin đã lần đầu vượt mốc 1.000 tỷ USD vốn hóa thị trường, trong khi vàng chạm mốc 1.784 USD. Từ nhiều năm nay, vàng đã và đang được sử dụng như một tài sản trú ẩn an toàn để phòng ngừa rủi ro lạm phát. Vì nguồn cung hạn chế và là hàng hóa hữu hình, nên vàng có xu hướng giữ giá trị trong thời kỳ lạm phát cao. Tuy nhiên ngày nay, giới trẻ lại có xu hướng thích tiền kỹ thuật số nói chung và Bitcoin nói riêng hơn vàng. Sở dĩ như vậy là do việc nắm giữ tiền kỹ thuật số có nhiều tiện ích hơn trong kỷ nguyên số. Chẳng hạn, người ta không thể mua hàng qua mạng bằng vàng, nhưng có thể làm như vậy bằng tiền kỹ thuật số. Trên thực tế, cả Bitcoin và vàng đều có nguồn cung hạn chế. Nguồn cung Bitcoin chỉ giới hạn ở mức 21 triệu đơn vị, trong khi nguồn cung vàng ngày càng giảm do trữ lượng vàng có giới hạn. Hơn nữa, các chính phủ cũng không thể tạo ra Bitcoin và vàng như in tiền. Đây là lý do tại sao người ta tin rằng Bitcoin và vàng không bị ảnh hưởng bởi lạm phát. Khi Bitcoin liên tục lên giá và biến động, thì cũng là lúc các nhà đầu tư đang xem xét và so sánh sự khác biệt và lợi ích của đồng tiền điện tử nổi tiếng này với vàng, loại tài sản đầu tư truyền thống bao lâu nay. Quý vị thân mến, trong bối cảnh áp lực lạm phát đang gia tăng trong chung và dài hạn, vậy tài sản nào sẽ thực sự trở thành hầm trú ẩn an toàn đối với các nhà đầu tư? Về chủ đề này, vàng và Bitcoin từ lâu đã được đưa lên bàn cân so sánh với nhau, bởi chúng đều là những vật lưu trữ có giá trị. Để hiểu rõ hơn về vấn đề này, hôm nay Phương Thảo xin được mời quý vị và các bạn cùng trao đổi với ông Takashi Matsumoto, giám đốc điều hành của công ty TJ Tech, công ty cung cấp giải pháp công nghệ và phần mềm cho các hệ thống giao dịch tài chính, để cùng hiểu rõ hơn về vấn đề này. Mr. Matsumoto, can you give us a brief overview of the investment situation in gold and Bitcoin for the first 3 months of 2021?
So actually, last 3 months, we have reduced the exposure for the Bitcoin and the gold because due to the QE and too volatile market.
So for the first 3 months, the investment situation is not very positive for both gold and Bitcoin.
Actually, first 2 months is still positive for the Bitcoin market, but gold is already started to the decrease the market. That's why for the Bitcoin, the derivative for the overshoot the market. So that's why we have reduced the position.
So how do you compare the situation with the last year, 2021? Is this positive or negative?
So it's a very difficult question. Actually, okay, for the gold, already overshooted. And the gold market actually is related for the dollar index and interest and the GDP of the market, government. That's why with this correlation, it's going to be maybe goes down the market, but it's very difficult, right, for the prediction. But at least impossible to continue to increase.
So how about the Bitcoin? Is increase or decrease?
Bitcoin also already overshooted, but of course still have a possibility to some fund or some institution started to invest to the Bitcoin, the even ETF or the kind of the mutual fund. So that's why for the fundamentally, of course, they continue to increase, but Bitcoin market is, how to say, always for the including the huge volatility. That's why my feeling is I can't invest more.
Matsumoto-san, in your opinion, what do you think about the pros and cons of investing gold and Bitcoin respectively?
So, the first of all, for the gold, the investment, it's a very difficult decision to, to review up or down. But actually, for focus, the correlation, actually that is an inverse correlation with dollar index. If US dollar goes up, actually gold will go down. Upside is, if Bitcoin, so the gold US dollar index goes down, gold goes up. That's why, at least for the current few years, the gold had continued for the increase. So the Bitcoin for the investment, actually, I just talking about to the how to invest, and and sometimes it's necessary for the investment strategy, right? So the Bitcoin investment sometimes it's a very danger for just only the bet Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is always coming for suddenly huge the volatility, huge the movement, sometimes spikes up, sometimes spike down suddenly, right? So that's why I will recommend to, if you're gonna invest for the crypto market, maybe just consider to combine Bitcoin as an altcoin. For example, you're going to invest the Bitcoin with Ethereum or as a item. For example, currently I invest to the DeFi item. Maybe later on I will explain for the DeFi, but that is some technique. So anyway, for the pros and cons, of course, for the Bitcoin, you're going to get the large benefit if Bitcoin is going to increase, right? So, but gold is maybe for the moment, I can say it's what is the pros, because already it goes up. That's why you have to careful for always the Bitcoin and the gold market for the sudden fall down. Already overshooted.
So to sum up, in short term, investing in Bitcoin has more positive than investing in gold. Is this correct? Is this statement correct that in short term?
Depends on the market situation. Actually, we are always recommend to our customer for such as the alternative investment. Alternative investment is like for the how do you say, to the invest for a lot of the different asset, right? So that's why I can't say to if focus on the Bitcoin is always 50-50. So that's why I can say so right now I will invest to only the Bitcoin, because that is a very danger. So we have to always think about for the alternative investment. Maybe of course you can bet for the Bitcoin only your 10% asset, but the shouldn't invest 100% your asset, right? So even gold is, you know, already for example, maybe I don't know, you already checking for the chart formation. So the current few years already appear the gold market is, you know, double head and shoulder. Double head and shoulder is actually just top level. So that's why I can't expect it to continue to increase the gold. So that's why, but of course you can invest, for example, 10% with your asset. That is my recommendation.
Okay. As for the gold investment, we all know that it's an entity, so we can make sure we are the owner of the gold. But in terms of Bitcoin, how can the investor know that he's the owner, he's truly the owner of that coin?
But for the foreigner, actually, we can, of course, can invest for the using exchange. There's a lot of exchange, you know, over the world. So you just send the money and just purchase for the Bitcoin. Also, some payment gateway service company, they're providing the, you know, for purchase for the Bitcoin solution. Then maybe you're gonna send to the right internet banking to your money to there, and then you can, you know, buy for the Bitcoin.
But as I know, the Bitcoins only appear in the exchange account. It's not appear in our bank account, right?
Actually, Bitcoin, if you're going to open the bank account in exchange, you can see your address, the Bitcoin. So, like for the bank account number, so you're going to use for this number, and anytime is, you know, you can use that. Of course, you can issue the different address. Anyway, you can specify your account, right? The blockchain, it's the bank policy.
Yeah.
Because you know, into the blockchain is just one address, right? Just unique address. Then, if you have one Bitcoin address, maybe I can send you the Bitcoin. It's very easier, right? So you just tell me your address. I will send you. Maybe after 10 minutes, you're going to receive Bitcoin. So maybe same thing. If you're going to open the bank account in the exchange, you just wire the money with your bank, then and you just buy for the Bitcoin using your money.
From your point of view, if someone wants to invest in Bitcoin, so he should mining the coin, or he should trade on exchange?
Okay, so for the mining, probably it's a little bit hard for the beginner. Probably some fund providing to the, you know, or some mining in the permission, so using the fund, but you will not be able to you know, the bill for some mining farm yourself, right? It's very hard, and you have this necessary for the huge money. So that's why the only way you can invest to some fund for providing the mining service. But you know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was the reasonable. Actually, you could invest for the mining fund, but for the moment, maybe it's not interesting. Maybe, you know, or because it's related for the Bitcoin value. That's why if we want to study to invest to the Bitcoin, you just buy the Bitcoin. It's easier. It's not complicated.
So for beginners, they should trade on the exchange. So it's much easier and save more money than spending their money in mining coin.
That's right.
Yeah. As a professional traders, and a IT company director. What would you like to introduce to our students that the career opportunities in fintech area?
Okay, so that is a good question. Anyway, you know, the country, there's some keyword in the market. It's not only the financial area. Actually, you know, so the few months ago, actually a few years ago, everybody say fintech. Fintech is the financial and, you know, tech is technology. But the country keyword is, for example, DX, digital transformation, and the AI. AI, maybe everyone know, right? For the DeFi is distributed for the finance. So DeFi is actually born with an Ethereum network, so with smart contract. So anyway, you know, there's a lot of the keyword in the market, right? So, but it's really difficult to recommend what's, you know, skill and what's the path it should be run. But if I can say for the student, maybe this is, you know, from my company, the pre-focus really for the programming skill for the increasing with this keyword. For example, okay, for the blockchain, everybody should be run to the JavaScript or the Python is a such language, right? That's why at least if one student is going to run the skill, for example, for the programming skill for the AI, maybe he can sell for the more, you know, high value his skill in the market, human resources market.
So is there any opportunity for finance major student? The student who studies finance, do they have any opportunity to work in the exchange?
Actually, so the programming is a, you know, financial based skill that completely different, right? For the finance, including accounting, is the tax matter is there's a lot of things. But on the other hand, you know, the finance is, you know, actually for the general word, but DX is you know, some keyword in the future. AI is a keyword for the future. That's why I recommend to the student to should be run for the both, the parallelly.
So how about the soft skill? Do they equip themselves some soft skill like teamwork or time management or good adapt to the new environment? Do you think it's necessary to meet the job
yes.
requirement?
Actually, you know, for the working, the most important point is, you know, teamwork. Because as you know, the, you know, current movement for the development way is a shift from the waterfall to the agile, right? Agile is, you know, there's a lot of the team. Then every team is, you know, work separately. But of course, everybody knows some common knowledge. So that's why, you know, for the most important the skill is a teamwork and the share with teammate his knowledge. Sometimes have to contact for the leader. Sometimes think, but for himself, right? Actually, always, you know, he have to think about the independently because the finally programming is how do you say you know, or focus to himself. He spent, right? So there's a lot of the remote work started. So that's why, you know, everybody will work to the independently. So that's why I recommend to just start to try to work himself.
Xin trân trọng cảm ơn ông vì những chia sẻ ngày hôm nay. Hiện nay, tại khoa quốc tế, Đại học Quốc gia Hà Nội, sinh viên khi theo học một vài chuyên ngành đào tạo như chương trình cử nhân ngành kế toán, phân tích, kiểm toán, kinh doanh quốc tế hay thạc sĩ quản trị tài chính đều được giảng dạy các kiến thức chung có liên quan đến lĩnh vực tài chính, fintech này. Rất hy vọng những thông tin trong buổi chia sẻ ngày hôm nay của ông Takashi Matsumoto, giám đốc công ty TJ Tech, sẽ phần nào giúp ích thêm cho các bạn sinh viên, học viên của khoa quốc tế và những người quan tâm. Trân trọng cảm ơn những phân tích và chia sẻ quý báu của ông.